Hello. How are we doing? Right. Hello, people. How are we? A few things I'm going to talk about this evening. Some questions, some observations, yada yada. A couple of things I'm going to address just first before I go any further. A couple of people were talking about, when somebody like myself is at the universities and having an interaction with students or whoever I can get an interaction with. People say, "Oh, say this, bring this up, yada yada." The difficulty is that you realise when you're interacting with these people, the majority of people, and I'm talking the majority of people, hold the belief that they live on a spherical Earth, but the majority of people do not fully understand the claims. They do not fully understand the globular Earth concept. So to get into more detail, I would love to get into more depth, to be able to have a further discussion with some of these people, but as I say, the majority of them don't actually understand it, and that's not me talking from up on high. It's just a fact. It's just my experience, and I'm pretty sure you can tell that from the interactions. So it's very difficult to get into every aspect of it. So for me, it's about choosing what avenue I'm going to go, just to try and get their attention, just to get them thinking a wee bit about it. And that's always the case. Plus, you're at the side of the street. You're not going to stand there for 2 hours, while we try and get through so many different, variants of the concept. So for me, it's about picking and choosing wisely and trying to, hopefully plant the seed of doubt so that they may start to question the assumptions and the beliefs that they hold to be true. And that's pretty much just my goal, is to invoke the discussion, to get people talking about it and thinking about it. As I said before, I don't have any horse in the race. So for me, it's about trying to further the progress in regards to, having the open discussion. Because, it should be very obvious, and I've said this so many times before, regardless of what you believe, if you must realise that this is something that's not going to go away. And the best thing is for us to have it out in the open and openly discussed, so that we can lay everything on the table and iron out, the principles, what we're talking about, language, what science actually is, and who has what in regards to measurability, demonstration of any claims that have been made. So, if you're on any false dichotomy, any side of a false, divide, whether it be globe, concave, whatever you want to imagine the Earth to be, you should be focused on that. At the end of the day, there's questions to be asked, rightly so, and we need to get, a bit of progress in it. So speaking to people is very difficult, especially, as I say, in a setting like that, where you're meeting people on the street, going to universities. We don't have 2.5 hours to spend with people. You're lucky if you get half an hour, and you have to try and offer up as potent and as much as you can within that time. And as I say, people jump from one thing to the other because, as I say, in their mind, they don't really understand it. So they'll just grasp at buzzwords and phrases that they've heard, and try and utilise that, because again, you're going to deal with people's ego, and they feel as if they have to be right. They understand that they believe something to be true, although they're not honest enough at that moment to admit, well, some of them, that they don't fully understand the belief they have. So that, people are skewed in their perceptions again because of places like YouTube, where you've got trolls, you've got organised groups of people who are out to protect this investment, that being the globular Earth concept. So they understand the sophistry, they understand how to twist and contort, they understand it to a bit more depth, and that can skew your perception. You've got to remember, the common man really doesn't have a full understanding of the claim, that being the globular Earth concept. So, what else was I going to say in that regard? I see Mohammed Sahili, I think your name is. I don't know if you'll see this. it was great to see you coming and engaging in the comment section. You know, my advice would be not to bother with the comment sections because it's just full of trolls. You know, if this is the first time that you're seeing this platform's open to these people every weekend. They wait until the broadcast is over and then they descend upon the comment section because they know that they cannot get away with it with somebody like me because I understand it in great detail to be able to highlight their absurdities and their lies. So they'll never engage. They'll say excuses like, "Oh, but you just shut us down." No, it's because I don't tolerate liars and bullshitters. So we've had 5 years of the same trolls, the same rhetorical garbage coming at us over and over again. We have addressed it numerous times, hundreds of times. So these people are free to have the opportunity to come on here and engage direct with myself, but they do not. So I would pay no attention. They have nothing to offer other than sophistry, lies. What else did I have? So again, just before we go any further, somebody like me is a skeptic. I'm an inquirer into the dimensions of our objective shared reality. Science is a term that is loaded and generalised. Science means exploration. It belongs to each and every individual. You do not have to have an expertise unless you're pursuing a particular avenue of applied sciences, dealing with substances. Okay, but in regards to common sense, practicality, mechanical understanding, this lies with every single individual. You have your own discernment. You have the same faculties as every other human being to understand your reality. So science comes into the natural sciences when we ask this question. We're talking about physics, physicality. So there must be practical references for any claims that are being made. Mathematics is a formal science. It's a language, conceptual, and it works on concepts. It can define axioms, whatever it likes, and it can build structures from there. It is only a useful tool when we apply it to real, three-dimensional, tangible substances. But it has the ability to go abstract into the realms of concept, which is exactly what the globular earth is. So, I'm only going to give it a short introduction. If you apply what I have just stated to you and keep it in the realms of practicality, where are the demonstrations, where's the quantifications and measurability of the claims being made? The majority of the globular earth sophists or sophistry is interpretations to suit a model. I'm an explorer, I'm an inquirer. I do not start from an assumption or some bias that I set out to then try and prove. I'm only interested in what is actually true and how I understand my reality and how I become a knower of objective facts is by way of practical reference. So it's very simple. The globe doesn't have any of that. We'll get into a wee bit maybe about some of the things that were said in the discussion that I had at Glasgow Uni. There were more discussions. I'll upload maybe through the week a couple of the other ones and maybe go through some of that as well. So what else was I talking about? Let me just get through some of this quick. We have, this caught my attention. This was a chap called Lennart Regebro. Maths absolutely has a basis in reality, but yes, it is an abstraction. Maths has a basis in reality when it's ascribed to provable integers, when it's ascribed to tangible substance, when it's describing substance and substance behaviour. That's right, that's correct. But when it starts to wander into the realms of visible phenomena, i.e. intangible lights in the sky, and starts trying to assert that it's mathematical, yada yada, it's total and utter lunacy. These phenomena were here before man invented the mathematical language, and then started to interpret the already existing phenomena. So the phenomena was there before the language. You can interpret to fit any model you want. But it's funny that Dell repeats over and over that we need to investigate. Well, he refuses to investigate. Like, pull doesn't exist, then explain magnets. And I'm sick of going over this with these people. Pull is not a force. It does not create motion. Pressure variance is what creates motion. You need something pressing on something else in order to achieve motion. Pull is a descriptor of direction. I'm sick of saying this. You bring something closer to you, I pulled it towards me. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the physics, the mechanical interaction of what is necessary to achieve motion. We all know this in mechanical terms. We have levers and inclined planes. All machinery, that's the principles for everything we utilise. Because we know that you need one thing pressing on another thing in order to achieve motion or create a system that gives you an output, whether that be a machine or whatever. Like a car. A car is individual processes of one thing pressing on another thing to achieve the desired effect. Pull does not exist as a force. Total and utter drivel. Explain magnets. I don't have to explain magnets because you don't understand what a magnet actually is. Now I can demonstrate to you, I can show you Eric Laithwaite demonstrating a rack and pinion, where it shows you an analogue rack, that being, for people that don't understand, a row of teeth with a cog. So we've just got levers, and that presses on one lever, turning the cog, and that's what creates the revolution of the cog. Then he removes the analogue rack, and he puts another one in. Magnets, where there is no contact between 2 points, but the cog still moves in the same direction. So when we're looking at reality, and we understand what's required to achieve motion, you don't then jump straight to magnetism, trying to utilise magnetism as a reference for your gravity pish, right? Because you don't fully understand magnetism. But you still don't get to assert that magnets attract or pull. That is gibberish. You have no basis in reality to be, pursuing that avenue or train of thought. It's ridiculous. And there can't be a vacuum next to pressure. Well, check if there is a vacuum next to pressure then. Turns out it doesn't. Word salad, that doesn't even make any sense. The claim is that we're in a medium that is a vacuum. And within that medium, there's a pressurised environment. Uncontained. But separate from the vacuum. Which again, going to physics and understanding the actual physical world, is total lunacy. So this guy, I told him he can come here, but we get the same old excuses, and then we've got, all flatards are my bitches. You're my bitch, whoever you are, and you always have been, and always will be, because you're a liar. You don't have any facts. You're a delusional, religious, cult zealot, spewing gobbledygook at every opportunity you get, apart from when I'm on live, because you're too scared. He pipes in, the attraction in magnets is a pulling force. No, it's not. You have nothing to reference pulling. It's not a force. Force is pressure. Something pushing on something else, or relieving pressure, like creating lower pressure within air, where the higher pressure will rush inwards. And if you've got an object in the vicinity of that, it will be pressed upon by the inrushing higher pressure, and it will achieve motion. Magnets either attract by pulling force, Magnets attract either by a pulling force. Do you agree, yes or no? No. Stop being ridiculous. I'm sick of these weirdos. But I'm using them right now because I know that some people still don't understand it. It is massively detrimental to the globular concept. It requires magical pulley forces. They don't exist in reality. This Leonard Regebro talking about pulling on a rope and the rope's attached to something. What about towing a car? Leonard, have a look at the pressure points when you tow a vehicle. Why can you not just lie the rope in front of the car and then drive and make the car behind you move, Leonard? Huh? Where's your magical and mystical pulley stuffs there? No, you have to loop it around so that it can press on the eyelet or the towing eye, tow bar, whatever, and press upon it to achieve the motion. You complete and utter stupid imbecile. They don't like this stuff because it destroys their fantasy world. Now I'm going to destroy their fantasy world even more because I like to. It's so satisfying. It really is. I love rubbing salt in the wounds and watching them running about, crying and kicking and screaming like wee fairies. So before I get to you don't see too far enough, you don't see far enough on a globe, we're going to have a wee look at the ISS space and its supposed speeds. Before I get there, how are we all doing, people? Spur of Longthorn, how you doing? Have no sphere. Preston Vaughan, how you doing? Sandy 123, beyond belief. Havoc, eye level, how you doing? Oh, Yuri Selina, this man, he grooms vulnerable people with lies. Who are you talking about, Yuri? John McVeigh, how you doing? They certainly are. Awesome Austin, Neil W, Boris Chops, how you doing? JT the Game. Oh, jumpy. Pico, how you doing? World Without Curve, Midnight Gardener. The Captain, 81, G John. Jack Stander, P900, Cool Picks, Fox Wilson, Boom Me, TP in the Tree. JQ, oh. FPV Angel, how you doing? Don. Andy Baldwick, how's it going, mate? Bloody Stickle in Water, oh, fucking thing keeps jumping. Where am I? Sammy Shaw, Terry Hayes, Calvin McDonald, Monty, Richard Buck, Pied Piper, Emerald Rider, RS Level Playing, how do? Awesome Austin, Tony Dixon, Tony T, Robbie Wright, right. Hello everybody, I hope you're all well. So, we'll go to the speed first and foremost, right? I don't do a lot of this because I just assume that people are going to investigate it for themselves. And I can't be bothered with space jobby. I can falsify all that easier than having to get through their footage and stuff. But we'll just have a wee look at it, right? Let me see here. So, everybody knows, I would assume, that the ISS is claimed to be going at 17,500 miles per hour. So this is a video that's on the Flat Earth Conspiracy channel, and it puts into perspective speed. So let's see here. This is at normal speed. Breaking the sound barrier. 2 times. Yes, think about that indeed. Right, so we'll come back to that one because I want to use that for something else in a minute. So here in this one we see this kind of movement. Again, what I want to show you here is they're looking straight out in front of them, and you hear from the globular earth proponents that you'll never see a left to right curvature. I'll come back to the left to right curvature because it's something that you can test, and I will be showing it in the better weather. Again, it's just pushing down constantly here, and for the next 2 weeks, again, constantly pushing down. So it's difficult. I mean, to me, it's very obvious this is just a bloody cartoon, but we're just looking at speed here. That's enough of that. I'll come back to that with the left to right stuff. Now, remember, 17,500 miles per hour. That should be a bloody blur. That should be a blur down there. Remember, they're only supposedly 200 odd miles away. Right? 17,500 miles an hour. With a supposed globular earth concept of a radius of what, 6,000 miles or something? Or whatever it is. Its diameter's 12,000. Right? That's not going anywhere. Because they're no there. That's not moving anywhere at 17,500 miles an hour. It's totally and utterly preposterous. That's no moving. They're no moving. Fucking rubbish. Let's just go back a wee bit. Check it out. How fast is that moving? And even at that, 200 miles up, and that's what you're seeing, that amount. Something with a diameter of what? 12,000 miles. Very good. 200 miles up, and you can see just about 12,000 miles from left to right. I don't fucking well think so. Total and utter nonsense. No moving. Nothing's moving. This is cartoonery. This is TV for bewildered, confused cult members that don't even know they're part of a cult. But as long as they see, it's like seeing the crucifix or whatever your religious symbol or badge is. This is theirs. That's shite. And they're too stupid and ignorant to even analyse it, to see the inconsistencies in it. I don't need that. Where else was I? Right. There's something that's been bothering me for a long time, and I spoke to Dan about it the other day. I think Dan's covered it a wee bit as well, Crazy Polish Man. When you think about what it would act, because this is the problem, right? You don't live on a sphere. So you've got morons telling you what you should and shouldn't see, how it would appear, yada yada. Right? So I think constantly, and I think, what would it actually appear like if we did live on a sphere? How far would you actually see? And what I'm going to show you is their usual, right? Let me just get that ready. Where am I? So I've shown this before. Let me just see here. Hold on. I think I'm better doing it that way so you can see it. You always see this shit. You always see this. Hold on. Right? They show you this, and then they go, oh, there's you, and there's an object. Oh, you now can't see the object, right? Now look at the scale of this. We're talking, 20% of a circle, right? And they're utilising this where you're looking down the way, over massive distances, because 1 degree on a circle like that is probably about 110 miles, right? And they're showing you bullshit like this. Let's have a wee look. For a start, when you're standing, you look straight out. Levelled, you look straight out. You don't look down like that, ever, to see a horizon or any of that stuff. So they're always depicting it false, and they're always fucking with the scale of it to throw you. Oh, look, there's a big bulge rising up. If I'm standing looking out straight, you can try this yourself in reality. Go to any hill, any slope that goes away from your feet. The slope that's going away from your feet, right, will never appear up here. Ever. Geometrically impossible. That's just first. Let's have a look at this rubbish now and ask the question. Right, so this is what I'm talking about. This is metabunk rubbish. Liars. Right? So they show you shit like this all the time. Look, oh, you're here and something's there, and if I draw a straight line, oh look, there's a big hump in the middle. Well, as I showed you before, when you're looking straight at the horizon or anywhere levelled, you don't look down the way. Right? Now, let's have a wee look here, shall we? Let's zoom right in. Note, here we've got this dotted, straight, level line. Okay? Now think about standing at the top here and looking. Right? Now even if we grant it to say about here, where it starts to drop, nothing would be obscuring anything, because there's nothing below your feet that's going to come up and obscure anything in the distance, right? Until we get to a certain point. But let's ask the questions about where that may be. Because even if I grant it to here, where it kind of slightly starts to deviate, right, as you can see, looks pretty straight. Look, this is what they always say. It's so massively big that it always looks flat. And then they're going to tell you that at fucking 8 miles or something, there's a big hump of bendy, rotund water blocking something. Right? Now, as I said before, you stand in any kind of gradient like that, slight like that, and you tell me anything that's going to be obscured. So let's take it from about there. Right? So we're about here. And about there. Now look at the degree here of that circle. That's probably about 5 degrees. Right? Well, we'll be generous and we'll say, nah, it's only 3. Right? Now 3 degrees of a circle with that radius would be like 110 miles per degree. Right? So we'll say roughly about 300 miles to that point. How is anything being obscured? How is anything being obscured by humps in between? Because just as I said, if you're standing here at the top looking straight, that cannot come up and intersect your field of view at the centre point, ever. It's going to slowly dip away from you, gradually. Right? But at what point, if you drew a straight line, at what point would there be any obstruction? I'm going to be generous and say around about there. And we'll even be generous again and say that's about 3 degrees. That's about 300 miles. So I should be able to go up and look even further down the slope. I should be able to see fucking London from Ben Lomond. These people are fucking retards. Lying retards. And they've got people all caught up in imagination land and asserting what it looks like on a sphere. We don't live on a sphere. But you need to ask yourself the question, how would it actually look? Look at this. That to you would just be a slope. That's not going to obscure anything to you. Absolutely fucking nothing. So, for me, if we did live on an absurdity at the concept known as the sphere Earth, you would see a lot further. You wouldn't be running about claiming ships are being blocked by humps of water, because I'm going to show you that ridiculousness again. Although the horizon's chopping and changing all the time, and you can see the horizon behind objects that are supposed to be at horizons and whatever else. So, that's my fucking pen, right? You're a you bastard. That's it. So, you're looking at, right? This is a side view of you looking. There, the water's rising up again. Then they're going to say there's a wee boat here that's blocked by something rising up, because a sphere has to go like that. Right? Because this is where their dishonesty gets them. They will refuse to look at eyes, how we actually see the world. Why does the floor ramp up? Why does the walls come inwards to a central point? Why does the sky come down and converge at a central point? They just admit that all the time. And now it's biting them in the ass, because they're liars. What you would have to believe, as I've showed so many times before, is that it goes like that and rises up in front of you and then drops down. That's not the geometry of a sphere. What happens when I get to there? Oh, well, I walk up here, now I'm on here, but it dips down here and then it starts to rise up again in front of me like that. Well, what's actually going on in these people's fucking minds? Because it doesn't match reality. All people have to do is think about it. And don't let them away with a certain stuff. And that's what they do. Assert stuff, all based on a mathematical assumption that the Earth's a sphere. And then they try and make reality contort and fit their concept. So think about it. How would the Earth actually appear to you if you were on a sphere? You would be able to see hundreds of fucking miles. What are they going to come in next and say, but the atmosphere, Well, we've been telling you that all along. Now yous are going to try and shift the goalposts and contort yourselves even more. It's looming mirage stuffsies. Again, I hope you get it. Have a look at it. Because if you did live on a sphere, never mind all this rubbish. Never mind all this crap. Oh, there's you there, and there's an air thing there, and you're looking like this. Oh, they can't see each other, oh, you're blocked it. What are we fucking all, 200 feet fucking tall? Living on a wee ball with a circumference of fucking a couple of 100 miles or what? It would just appear as an ever decreasing slope from you, and there would be fuck all for hundreds of miles before anything was obscured. Never mind 10 and 12 and 15 miles, it would be hundreds. Check my email. think Spacewell will be telling us, oh, the astronauts don't sense the speed of the ISS because gravity. Exactly, Scott Walker. I take it that's you that's telling me to look in the email. Chimney photo from off mains in my boat. We're really busy this year, but there are many power station chimneys and coastlines around the world still standing. What I believe makes us a good tool for observation is these 1,000 feet plus immense structures can be viewed without obstruction across a flat body of calm water. Unlike inland towers that have undulations, scenery, etc. For example, Drax Power Station in Yorkshire, that would be difficult even at 850 feet. So my next task is to get some evidence to you there for you to examine. No worries, Scott, cheers. But that's it. Again, when we look at these, we have to be understanding what's going on visually, what's happening with the eyes, and how we account for these things. We can't just go skipping over it all the time, because again, horizons, how the world appears, all belongs here in these two oblate spheroids in your skull. So we have to understand the geometry of vision. We have to be looking at what's actually happening there. As I say to you, have a look at that, because you should see a lot further if you did live on a sphere. Right? Anyhow, I'm going to make a smoke and we'll see where we go next. They always put everything out of scale and try and use their sophistry, as you can see in their diagrams and their drawings and what they're trying to assert. And it's total lunacy. Again, it's just simple for me, you know, fucking rising humps of water in front of you, you know, that's garbage. See, I should be able to, you know, see this apparent sun going down or whatever else and go up higher and look down even further, down an ever sloping away earth. It would be an incredible sight if you actually think about it. What do you have to say about what I've just offered up there? It certainly would, party pack. Do I think the earth is moving? Something's moving. We're having experience right now. To have an experience, to have reality, to experience anything, there must be motion. If you don't have motion, you're not going to have any experience whatsoever, because nothing's got to happen. So for me, motion is one of the fundamental aspects of reality. Oh, for fuck's sake, I've just made an absolute ass of that. Even if you were on a sphere looking down, you would see a great distance. Nothing would be obscuring you for probably hundreds of miles. Nothing. Look at it. Look at the geometry of a sphere. Go outside and stand on a slope or something that's got an exponential curve to it. Right? And think about the scale of that in regards to the globular earth, as I just showed you there in their meta-bunkum rubbish. They're showing you a straight line. It doesn't start to move away until, as I say, being generous, I'll give them 3 degrees. Now, 1 degree on a globular earth, 110 miles or something. So what are they talking about things being obscured for? Because nothing's going to be obscured. Not the distances they're claiming. The Arc of the Curve blocking the view. I don't know what you're talking about, Mark Walton. Arc of what curve? There's no curve on oceans. Things are being obscured because of the limitation of the angle of light through your eyes. Same as these people. I was on a wee hangout thing earlier. Somebody was talking, there was a troll in the chat talking about Polaris and all this bloody rubbish, you know, and moving away and how it would drop in an angle which is impossible on a flat earth and all this rubbish. When we talk about degrees of vision, we're talking like that. There's your 0 point. If you've got something at 90 degrees and you start to move away from it, it starts to come out here. And if you look at this, it's decreasing in its angle, right? Until it gets away out here and then it gets to the 0 point where it's pretty much appears to be parallel with the Earth. Now that can't resolve. That light's not going to get to you. I struggle to believe that people are not picking this stuff up. Hope people are not just waiting for people like me to show these things and then think that something's been achieved. You need to understand these things yourself. Go away, see what you find, come back and tell me I'm wrong. Come back and tell me I'm right, whatever. This is what it's about. You need to be the scientist, which means we have our own peer review, which means you get out there in the practical real world and see what you find. Now, people can call in, you need to send me an email. A curve doesn't rise up to eye level, this is the problem with them. You know, it's a geometric impossibility. You can't look levelled straight out in front of you and have a slope that's going away in every direction from your feet, rise up into the centre of your field of view. Absolutely preposterous. As you rise up, it's going to get lower and lower and lower and lower. Anyhow, right, what else was I talking about? Right, if you want to join me, send me an email. Right. Give me 2 seconds here. So when you get people saying, we see too far, that's true, but you can reverse it. If we lived on a globe, and it was a globe, you're not seeing far enough. It's dead simple. And what else did I have here? This is, I was going to do a wee comedy video with this, but you need to see this rubbish. Videos from space, can you see that? Hang on. Aye. 2 commercial satellites dock in orbit for the first time. So they show you shiny, shiny. Right? Shiny, shiny and blackness. Wait for it. Oh! Cartoon! Oh, we went from black, shiny, shiny to cartoons and gazillions of stars. That's fucking wonderful. Oh, look at the cartoons touching each other and all that stuff. It's like they're having sex in space. Robots having sex in space. Cartoon robots. Do you know what that's like? Do you know what that's like? That's like me telling you a story. Saying, oh, by the way, I can fly. And then showing me walking up to the top of a building, walking to the edge of the building, and then cutting to me playing with my wee Superman cartoon figure and going, woo, ooh, look at me flying, woo. Adults are lapping this up. What the fuck is going on? No, Mark Wilson. You know, look at what I was showing. If it was a sphere and you had a lighthouse at 50 miles, it wouldn't be obscured by anything. You would see it. You would see the whole thing. Because it would be beneath your feet, going down the slope. It's not far enough yet for it to be obscured, for you to be looking through the sphere. Not far enough. Not 50 miles, not even 100 miles. It would be hundreds and hundreds of miles before anything would be obscured. Right. Bear with me here, I shut this all down. So, as I was saying, I'll come back to that. Let me just share quick, just so you can see what I'm talking about. When we look at this left to right curvature, right, got it? So again, I've spoken about this numerous times, and anybody can try this for themselves. Hold on a minute, shut that, where are we? So as you've seen there, you've got this left to right thing happening. Now they can claim, oh, it's too big, all they like. So if I'm at the west coast of Scotland and I've got a landmass here, and I've got Ailsa Rock here, and I've got another landmass here, and we can clearly see that there's a fucking straight, level horizon, right? Now, look at this. They can say too big, all they like. Mathematically, geometrically, there must be a deviation in elevation from that point to that point. So, if I had a plate with a camera mounted on it, a plate that could turn, okay? And I levelled my camera, I never used zoom, okay? And I pinpointed this here from distance. Levelled, my camera's levelled, and I look at this point, and then I swivel my plate. As I pan round, this whole thing must start to lower. This should now be lower. 28 miles, we'll say 350 feet of deviation in elevation there should be, which means there should be 350 feet drop from here to the next landmass. If I've got a plate looking at that and I swivel the plate round, this horizon should not constantly be in the centre of my field of view. It must show a rise in the middle and a lowering at each side. So we could even try it like that. We could use Ailsa Rock as a centre point, which is probably better. So we get a camera on a plate, levelled perfectly, looking at Ailsa Rock. We then turn it to the right, there should be a drop here at this side. We turn it to the left, there should be a drop on the left. I've done it. I know it doesn't do that. So it's up to you. You go out there now and see what you find. But I will make the plate. I'll make the plate and I'll do it properly. Because as I say, I like rubbing salt in the wound of liars, deceivers, especially those who have been bombarding us non-stop for over 5 years now. I love that shit. Red Pill Suppository, you can wait until my eyes are on the chat box, don't expire. J Watts, is that you, Red Pill Suppository, with all these different accounts? Let me see. Right, link is being sent right now. Email sent. Well, there's no trips or round globular earths. It doesn't exist. So this is why they've got all this ad hoc gibberish and gish galloping going on with our explanations and their mathematical idiot diagrams, you know, of wee tiny earths and big giants looking across at each other. Because people don't understand that if you don't live on a sphere Earth, so you can't even picture how it would actually look if you did live on one. But think about it, just analyse it as I showed you. You would see a long, long way and nothing would be obscured. Nothing. Because as I showed you before, the only way for that to happen would be if there was lumps, like it was doing that, it was a lumpy Earth. But this is the thing. You can't get your head around star rotation though, because you're listening to people who are telling you they know what the stars are, John McLean. You're listening to people who are making them relevant. It's part of the sophistry. Again, it's like, alright, we're going to study the stars, right? We're going to try and understand the stars, but what we're going to do is we're going to look down at the Earth, right, like that. And we're going to have a look about the Earth to figure out the stars, right? Let's do that, everybody. We need to find out what the stars and the sun and the moon are. So what we need to do is we need to look down at the Earth. See what we can come up with. Because that's exactly what they're offering you. We're talking about the dimensions of the Earth and they're going, let's look up there to establish what's going on down here. The stars don't define the Earth's shape. You need to look at it as a language. They're making assumptions and asserting from assumption without ever proving their assumptions. Responsibility, Professor Dave. I've already addressed Professor Dave. He's just a sophist wank. Right? Probably generalising, attaching strawman cartoonery gibberish. He's just a fucking lying, deceiving idiot. So I'm not going to bother with Dave or whoever. Hush, thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't want half feet on the floor though.
Oh, sorry, son. I meant it.
So no, fuck Dave. I'm not interested in these fucking YouTube gimps. Tell Dave or some professor or whoever to meet me at Glasgow University for a face-to-face discussion. I'm waiting on somebody arriving. They requested a link over and over again and now they're not here. Hello, are you there? Hello? Nah. G Watts, I sent you the link. I'll send you another link and you've got about 30 seconds to click it and say something. G Watts sent. As I say, you've got about 30 seconds. Scott Walker, you said that a lighthouse would have you said there that a lighthouse would have to be hundreds of miles before it's obscured. Does that invalidate my chimney claim? I'm talking about the globular earth claim, Scott Walker. If you actually lived on a sphere of the dimensions that they state, you would be seeing a lot further. No, there's no confusion, mate. It's that the problem is, as I've always spoke about with this visual stuff, visible phenomena. It's not about the geometry of what the earth actually is, because that's not what it's about. When you're looking at stuff, you're not looking at the geometric dimensions of earth, because you're looking with your eyes. It's the geometry of your vision that you're looking at stuff with. So that's what we need to understand. Angles, how things disappear, dissipate. That's what we have to understand and look at. It's got fuck all to do with the geometry of the actual earth. People are using visible phenomena to show that what the globe earth is claiming is wrong because they can see further. What I'm showing you and saying to you is if it was actually a sphere, you would see a lot further than what they're claiming. So people really have to be cautious about what they're asserting and what they're talking about when we're talking about purely visible. Again, for anybody that doesn't understand what I'm talking about, when we engineer a train track or a row of lampposts, we engineer the lampposts to be equal in height, ding, 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 all the way for 100 miles or 10 miles, whatever, and then you look along it and they appear to get smaller. That's not the world. The world is not getting smaller with distance. That's a property of your vision. People just need to start separating these things because we're asking the dimensions of the earth. No up there. No how we see. Right. Same problem again. I don't know if this person's in, but I'm just getting a kind of black screen with a kind of morphing colour. I don't know what's going on. Can't hear anything. We can try again, G-Watt. Who else have we got? David Thompson. Ready, I had to jump off to do this, but would like to come on if okay. Right, David. Link sent. How can it be Satan? I thought I was Satan. I thought I was the devil and all that stuff. Satanic tattoos and fucking arse chins, and I thought that was me. Knew you trying to assert I'm in two places at once. I suppose me being Satan and all that, I could be. Where's all the globe earthers rushing in here to tell me that I'm wrong? Where are they at? So I'm waiting on David Thompson. And then Mr. Cheswick. Hello as well, mate. I was wondering if you could highlight the venom that comes out of this so-called flat earth debunker's mouth and point out to people that if he said what he says in this video about black people, Jews, transgender, etc., then he'd be shut down by YouTube in an instant. But because he's saying it about flat earthers, for want of a better term, he's allowed to get away with saying shit like this about people who question the official narrative. It's only a short 4-minute video that I've edited down to save time, and it starts at 1:40 in. So if you skipped 1:40, it's that bit I want to highlight. Nice one, I'll keep that there just now. I'll have a wee look at it. I'll wait until David has appeared. Right, Scott Walker, so you're saying you've sorted it. I'll send you a link once I see what's happening here with David. I did send a link. I did, David Thompson. Can I discuss flight paths? What do you mean flight paths? You mean wee computer graphics that you're seeing on a screen? Is that what you mean? Slam Free Poetry, you've sent 5 requests. I'm not seeing 5 requests, Slam Free Poetry. Absolutely none. I'll show you what I've got. There's a request there. I've just read Mr. Cheswick's. I've got Scott Walker again. I've sent a link to David. There you can see it. So I'm not receiving that request. Where are you sending it? Oh. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
No bad, mate. Better than a wee while.
Hi.
You see me or hear me? Is everything alright?
I can see you. I can see you're dark, but I can hear you, so it's fine.
That's cool, man. Cool. Where to begin, mate?
At the beginning.
Fucking, this is weird, man.
It's weird. It's just me and you. Don't worry about it.
It's not just me and you, mate.
Who is it?
There's bad ones listening, you know, badgings listening. Fuckers, man.
No, don't let them rattle your nerves, man. It's all good. Fuck it.
It is, mate, it is. I know what they're up to.
So who are you in the chat box then? What's your avatar in the chat box?
I'm not in the chat box, mate.
Oh, you know? No, right, okay.
No, I've not been about online for a wee while now. A couple of weeks, maybe. Anyway.
No worries. Aye.
Just had to leave it for a wee bit and
Chill.
take stock and stuff.
I know what's wrong. It's because you can't see me. That's maybe hold on. I'll be a wee second here.
It's me. Hold on, I've got my glasses on.
Well, you can see my pretty face now, so that'll settle your
And
nerves.
now, mate, you're looking fucking handsome.
Aye, that'll settle your nerves for you.
It does it a wee bit, mate.
So what was your thoughts? What were you coming on to say?
I don't really know. Just everything. With me, it's everything, mate. And it's always everything.
Everything?
And I mean everything.
Aye.
It really is. It's like anxiety and fucking OCD, and I need to know everything all the time.
Aye.
And you get intrusive thoughts, and you think, is that fucking... So I need to take stock of that and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to end up opening my fucking soul here in front of everybody. But I just want to talk to you, mate.
Aye, you're alright. You can speak to me in private if you want.
I think that'd be better, but I'm here now anyway, you know.
Aye. Well, as I always say, mate, I like to have something that we're going to discuss. I know nerves can get the better of you and stuff like that, you know, and you can go blank, but...
Well, basically just the fucking shape of the earth, the water state's it, mate.
Yeah, that and many other things, of course. I mean, it's simple. So what do you think's going on? What do you think's out there?
What I think's out there, I think the Jesuits and everybody's taking the fucking piss at the lot of us, mate.
Aye, they've got many bands. They've got many bands of
I
minions.
saw a photo on the internet earlier with the fucking Pope with a hanky in his nose.
Coronavirus.
He's with coronavirus, you know. They cunts probably fucking invented it, you know.
Aye. We need a virus for fucking liars and manipulators. We need a
they've got to
virus
keep
for
us-
them.
We've got to keep us in fear and stuff. But anyway, this is into the realms of other stuff. But it's the shape of the earth, isn't it, mate?
Well, I'll talk about anything, man, you know, but people need to bring the topic of discussion to me. You know, if you want to
True.
talk, you can talk
True,
about
I
whatever.
just went impulsive there and thought, time's the time to jump on and say hello and
Aye,
oh, my fucking nerves are shattered, mate, honestly.
no worries. Just you can go away and calm yourself, man, and you've broke your virginity, so you can come back on. Send me an email, and you can jump back in again if you want.
No worries.
Aye, you want to do that?
Alright.
Aye, of course, man, of course. Just send me
Thank
another
you.
email when you're ready.
Oh, it's so much in my head that it's just, you know, it's...
Aye, well, have a think about what you want to discuss and what's more prominent for you. Aye.
Well, I want to discuss everything. But
Well, I'm not here, I've not got enough time to discuss everything, man.
Right, I'll leave you to it then.
No worries.
Cheers for that, mate.
See you shortly, bud. Right, Scott Walker. I'll try again. I'll give you another chance. And Now, what's going on? Beyond belief, you were saying there was somebody fucking bad mouthing or something earlier as well. Who was that? Are they still there? What was the name? Yuri Salina. See, you would think that the Globe Earth proponents would be rushing in here to tell us we're wrong again. And you don't see far enough if you lived on a sphere. Nothing would be obscured for hundreds of miles. What are you going to do now? Yeah? Make up some other pish about why the water's bending and humping up in front of us. That's it, have no fears. You know, it's no easy. I remember it. I never forget how hard it was to go on camera and stuff. And the first times, no, it's just you're just used to it. Don't even think about it. But I remember that feeling, so I totally get it. The Moondale, the moon. What about it? Don't worry about it, Santosh. We could get through it. You can talk to me anytime about it. Red Pill Suppository. I don't know who you are. Stop saying link, 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 link. I'm going to stop. I'm going to remove you from the chat box if you keep spamming the chat box with link, 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 link. Like some demented fucking cretin. I can see it the first time. The link's been sent. Scott Walker. Right, I'll just send it to you. Slam Free Poetry. And then Lone Zen Warrior, how do you get to talk to you? I've been hollering in chat. I'll send you a link once I get through this one. Mate, I'll send it to you. Link please. Amazing how the Scottish guy gets somebody to drop me over and over. Brilliant. That's the first time I'm seeing your email. And I sent you a link. Jai me. I'll get to you again. I'll send you the link. It's not my fault. You can't click the button. It's just a waiting game. I don't know why it's a slow process for people to click a link. Because if somebody sends me a link, I go click, click, and I'm there. What is the difficulty? Let me just test this here. I'll shut this down if we get trolls, obviously. Click that link from the chat box and see if he's get in here. Somebody click that link. Robert, how you doing, mate?
Hey, what's going on, Dale?
No bad.
Buddy.
It's working, obviously, then.
Yeah, it's not a problem with you, mate.
We've got a couple other people. Stuart, Gene.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on, that's me.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
I'm an idiot.
Hello.
Sorry about that.
No worries, mate.
I wasn't planning on actually joining, so
No
I
worries.
apologize.
Hello?
No worries. Hello.
It works fine.
I'm in but I'm here.
Peace. Hello, hello. Well, we've got loads of people here now. So, Red Pill Suppository, we can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Del, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
You're shaking your head, is that a yes?
Yes, that's a nod.
Okay. Oh. Okay, well, Del,
Yes.
we've spoken before. I'm the guy from China.
How you doing? This is
Del, can you hear me?
yes, it's not going
You
to
need
work.
to shake it. Okay, you're saying you can.
I'm not going to waste my time. I've shut it down. If you can't hear me, how are we going to have a discussion? So there's obviously a tech problem at your end. I'm not going to waste my time going over and over. Sort the tech out and we'll try again. Cheers, Gene, Dave and Robert for clicking in there just to be checked that. Right, wait a wee second here, what's going on? Right, so I need another one. Copy. Onzen Warrior. Link sent. Right, we've got a couple other ones. The distance from which this is Mark Wilson, various lighthouses around the world are visible at sea far exceeds what could be found on a ball Earth. Yeah, that's right so far, aye. But on a real ball Earth, you would see a lot further than what they're talking about. There would be nothing obscured. Nothing. I thought I addressed it quite clearly. I'm not talking about Eric's book or Robotham or any of these things. I'm talking about me, my thoughts and what I'm seeing. Right? Now what they're showing you in regards to the sphere Earth, have a look at it. You would see a lot further than you actually see. But they keep showing you diagrams of giants looking down through the Earth. I'm forgetting who's who here now. Right, Scott Walker, no worries. So it's obviously just a tech problem then. No worries, mate. I understand that with the tech issue. And this Jai Watts. You've been sent a link, Jai Watts. I've got it right there in front of me. Stop acting like you're being dropped at this serious demanding. You're not letting me. You fucking sent a link. It's not my fucking fault if you're too stupid to click it quick enough. Fucking arsehole. People don't get no fucking manners, don't know how to fucking speak. And then start bitching and whining because I get irate at your stupidity. Right? You were sent the fucking link. Look. There, Jai Watts. There's the fucking link right there. Sent 20 minutes ago. Now you're acting all victim-like. Get a grip of yourself, son. So I'm waiting. Lone Zen Warrior. It's not been very successful this evening, has it, in regards to people clicking links? I mean, that's what everybody does these days. Click, tap, tap, swipe, click, tap, 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 swipe. Yet when it comes to this, 2 clicks, meltdown. What are all these generations going to utilise that for? Because all the generations these days, that's all they do. Tap, 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 swipe, tap. What's the future going to hold for us? What is the necessity for this skill? Tap, tap, swipe. Tap, tap, swipe. Look at me, aren't I so fucking edgy and cutting edge and at the peak of intellectual capacity? Tap, tap, swipe. Tap, tap, swipe. I think so, one man, he's detector. Yeah, that's it, I don't even need to tap tap, just say Alexa, or whatever the fuck its name is. Alexa, is the Earth a sphere? Yes, that'll do me. Well done to you. Get some more space videos on. Let's watch some more space stuff. Right. Right, Jai Watts. There you go. There's a link being sent to you again. I know it's difficult. Just click on it and click the wee box and you'll come in. Lone Zen Warrior, I don't know what happened to you as well. Slam Free Poetry, I sent you the link as well. What is the matter with you? Reply, Link. There, coming right at you. Is this a game now? Or we can't get too many airways, so we'll just wind them up by constantly asking for links and no clicking them. Brilliant. It's not going to make the world a conceptual spheroid absurdity. $33rd of July. Heard that on the radio today. Oh, it's Leaplings Day. It's
Oh my God! I can't believe it.
It's an extra day.
Is it real? Am I here?
It's an extra day.
I'm here.
Shut up, you prick.
Oh, Dell.
Shut up,
I'm
you
here.
prick.
I made it.
What kind of way is that to come in and start speaking to somebody, you absolute fud? Calm yourself down.
Okay. All right. I'll calm it real down. I'll calm it down.
Go
How's it
for
going? It's great to talk with you.
Nice one. How can I help you?
Well, I was so happy to have a moment to speak with you because honestly, I've been listening to you for so long, dude. Like, so it was great to come in here just to have a moment. I never spoke with you like in this way, but I'm not trying to like distract either. Honestly, I had a hard time getting in here. So thank you for sending that link, but I'm a flat earther. I've been around for a while. I'm just a dude. You might know me as Zern. I've been playing music and doing flat earth for a while. I'm sure you maybe come across me. I don't know, but that's okay. I love what you've been doing. I love those videos you've been putting out for all these years. The fucking
Hold on.
Yeah.
See if I put my arsehole right up there like that. Is that better? Can you get a better lick? Can you get a better lick at it?
No. It's not what I'm calling for.
Look, I've got clean boxers and
No,
everything.
I mean, I give you 1 sec. I never spoke with you. I give you 1 second to like just tell you where I'm coming from.
Go for it.
Is that too much for you?
Batter on.
I should just come in and be like, the trivium, yeah. That's what you want me to do. The trivium. That's it. I can't even come in here and say, hey, I've been fighting the good fight with you, along with you, and I encourage what you've been doing. I support what you're doing.
Hold on.
But then now you think I want to see your bumhole? You just kind of what the hell's that?
Yeah, I've got a big box.
Joe.
There's a big box of fucks there. You can take one if you want it. There's a few. Don't know if you can see there's fucks in there that you can take as many as you like.
That's good.
Hey, Del, can you actually hear me?
I can hear you.
Del, just say yes.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, Del. Thanks, man. I've rebooted my machine, everything. I know I was pissing you off, but I was not trying to piss you off.
Oh,
man.
you're another one of these troll fuckers, aren't you? See, I'm a troll fucker because I couldn't get in here, but now I'm a bad guy too.
Del knows I'm not a troll fucker. I've already spoken to him.
He doesn't. He should know I'm not either, but I must be, right? I must be. I'm not. I'm so pro Del too. I defend Del on all levels. But see, then he thinks, oh, now I kiss Del's ass too. I can't win. I can't win. Exactly. I want reality.
I've got about 30 seconds, and then I'm switching them off.
Hey, Del,
I'm just gonna mute. I'm gonna mute. I don't want to
Del,
you got me here, Del?
Del, once his joker's gone, we'll have a chat.
No, I'm not a joker, guys. I'll shut up.
Can you hear me, Del?
Will you please?
Yes, I would like to have a conversation with some sensible, people.
Thanks, Del.
I'd love to have a sensible conversation.
Fuck off. It's only 5:00 a.m. in China.
Why fuck off me? What did I? See, you guys are so triggered. I'm having a conversation, but see, I'm the bad guy.
Triggered. Yes, you are. You are the fucking bad guy.
Hang on a wee minute. We'll try and mediate this a wee bit before I just switch it off altogether. You come in all triggered and uppity. It's no conducive to having, a nice discussion. So anyhow, Red Pill and Lone Zen Warrior, how are yous?
Hey, Del, before you drop me out, Del, I haven't never spoke with you. I've been for years wanting to have this moment with you, and now all of a sudden I don't even get a chance. So I'm sorry, I fucked it up because I came in here when everybody else wanted to talk over me. And go ahead, fuck me, right? Fuck me.
No thanks. I don't know where you've
No,
been.
Dude,
me neither.
wow.
Don't know where you've been.
Hi, Dale.
How's it going?
Hi, man. Right, who's going first, me or the other guy?
You can
I've
introduce.
sat up. Wait.
You can introduce yourselves.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Uh,
have we got something
hi,
specific?
I'm Joe.
So,
Right, that's right. First come, first serve. Who's before me?
Will I get a straw out and we'll pick straws?
Hear me?
Okay, it's Lone Z. You go first, man. Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, go for it.
You hear me, Dell?
You're very faint, mate. I can hear you a wee bit.
Very faint. I'm trying to figure out the settings on the damn Hangouts, but I can't.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
difficult,
the
man. I know.
off. I can't get mine to boost up. I don't know how.
I can't remember on this thing. Hang on a wee second. There should be a wee cog in the top right of the screen, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, Dale, could you hear me fine
Gotta give
before
a wee
he starts
second.
talking?
Just let me sort this out. 2 seconds, right?
Okay. Just asking if you can hear me fine.
Aye,
That's all.
perfectly well. There's a wee cog.
Okay,
up
good.
There's a wee cog
I
in the
can
top
hear
right.
you guys great, but I can't get my volume to go up or y'all's volumes to go down.
You want to come back on? I'll send you a link separate to this one and see if you can sort it out.
Shoot it through email.
No worries.
Thanks, brother.
No worries.
Oh shit, that's just me and you then, Dale. Hi, Dale. I'm sorry for spamming you,
No worries.
but yeah, no, it's difficult for me because I'm in China with the VPN. And anyway, yeah, I've got some good news. I've actually found another surveyor in China, and we're up for doing the 60-mile to see if we can go back and see the Canton Tower. So I wanted a light-hearted thing for you, you know, because you always get pressured in these times of yeah, I know. Have a cigarette. I am. It's 5 a.m. for me. So I know that you're always used to people want to lambast you and attack you, and I'm saying no. I wanted to have a chat with you because I had some good news. You know that God, what's it called? The Flat Earth Finder. I found a guy that in China that happens to be a quantity surveyor, so he's done surveying as well. So he's up for doing the, you know, going up and seeing if we can see the Canton Tower at 60 miles away.
But I don't know what that's going to achieve. I don't know what that's going to achieve.
I know for me,
Aye,
it
for
will
you.
achieve something.
Aye. Well, if that's for you and for your own data collection or to satisfy yourself, that's fine. But again, we have to understand, you know, visible, you know, apparatus and how it's actually functioning, and you know how the world appears through these things, and try and decipher that.
Yeah.
But it's
Dale, as I said, I just wanted it to be a little light-hearted 5 minutes for you, so you
No
can
worries.
have a cigarette, chill out, and not get all defensive.
Oh,
You know?
you're looking after me.
We're not all we are not all attacking you, man. There are people out there that support you.
I never says anybody was attacking me. I just have a certain demeanour about me, and I walk my walk the way I walk, and some people are just
I know.
different. And I don't have patience, so I just react to it, you know. So
Yeah, Dale, I know that. I've got a broken, shattered foot for almost 6 months from not recognizing when somebody was a better fighter than me. So I know all about that. You know, so I don't know. It's I like you, man. I like your honesty. I like your grit. I like your determination. I can see that sometimes you just think, hey, will somebody agree with me?
I don't
Nobody
think I ever
does.
need toilet paper again in my life, because there's an endless amount of people out there that are willing to lick the shit right off my hoop. I don't even know what I need to buy toilet roll for.
Yeah, that I need a translation of that. You slipped right into hardcore Scottish.
Did I?
Could we get a little?
What I'm saying is that I feel I no longer have the need to invest my funds in toilet paper, because there is an endless amount of tongues out there quite willing to clean the clinker.
I'll tell you something. I'll give you a little secret about myself. I clean my ass with a flannel and soap and water. I don't use
That's the
toilet
best
paper.
way. That's one of the things that bothers me, you know, like here in the UK. and
Well,
stuff.
I clean my ass with soap and water.
Well, no, that's what I'm
God.
just going to get to. You know, I don't know why we don't incorporate bidets, because, you know, we talk about wastage and all this stuff and people are wiping their ass. I've seen people that go through a copious amounts of toilet roll, and I think to myself, would it not be much cleaner and healthier for us to have bidets, so that once you've done your
Yes.
business, you can just walk
Yes.
on there, get a wee wash, and you're ready to rock.
Woo! Yeah, let's rock for those. Fuck the flat earth. Let's rock for B-days.
Well, that's it. People
No,
say there's much more important issues in the world, and I think they're right, because, you know, there's arse cancers and loo roll clogging the systems up. So let's have a campaign for bidet installation.
Yes, absolutely.
But I don't need a
No,
bidet because
Look, I'm married. I'm a MGTOW, but I'm married. You know, I'm married. But my wife looks at me and she goes, "Oh, the toilet's blocked up." And I said, "What? What the fuck? I wipe my ass with a flannel and wash myself in the shower. What are you talking about? That's nothing to do with me." Anyway, that's a real sort of off-topic conversation.
we went from showing the absurdity of the globe to talking about how we wipe our ass. I mean, I don't know how that happened.
No. These are Del. These
Just
are
goes to
valuable
prove that
points.
it's an open platform. and we'll talk about anything.
I've waited 2 months to chat to you again, because the last time I talked to you, I'd been on too many vodkas. It was Christmas time, right? You don't remember because you keep saying, "Oh, Red Bull Suppository, stop, you know, this, that, and the other messaging me." I'm just saying, answer my fucking email. So we did talk, and I did bore the shit out of you.
You're
that
boring the
time.
shit out of me
So-
again. You're bored. I'm starting to be. My head's buzzing. I'm like, where are we going here? What are we talking about? So funny.
Yeah, but the thing is that you do have to understand that for the first time, I finally found another surveyor in China. Oh God, my screen's gone down. Are you there?
Hang on.
That's
'cause-
actually
hang
before-
on. I've got
Go on.
some presents for you, the same as the last guy. It's a big box of fucks in there. Do you want to take some?
No, thanks, man. No.
Are you hearing me now, Del?
You're still the same, mate. You're very faint.
I don't know what the hell.
It's muffled. It's
Do you-
not faint.
do you
It's
know what?
muffled.
Do you know what, mate? You know, I think we'll catch up in private, and I'll try and help you to sort that out.
Don't believe Dal, because when I say that to him,
Shut
he never
up.
answers my email.
I'm shutting you off. I can't be bothered with you anymore. Lone Zen Warrior. I'll hang on a now. Actually, wait. I see here. Lone Zen, I'm sending you a different link. Seriously, man, that was some amount of fucks been taken out my box there. I'm going to try and have to invest in some more fucks to give, so that I can fill the box up. And I'll be sure to have a dirty asshole for all you lot that want to come and sort it out for me next weekend. You can take all my fucks and you can lick the shite right out my stinker. Hello,
Can you hear me now, Del?
that's much better.
Yeah, I was on I tried my Bluetooth headset, but it wasn't working. So, But I switched back to my phone mic, and it seems to be working good now, huh? You can hear me?
Yeah, no worries, mate. I can hear you clear.
Awesome. Hey, what I wanted to, it's good to catch up with you again, man. It's great to see you.
Been a long time, mate.
I wanted to point something out to everybody when concerned to this perspective idea.
Mhm.
When I was in art class in school, we did what we call point perspective.
Mhm.
If you want to draw a picture of, say, railroad tracks, you use single point perspective. You draw a flat horizon line parallel to your canvas, and then put a single point on it, and everything goes to that single point per perspective.
That's one point perspective. That's right.
Yeah. Then there's 2-point perspective. So if you wanted to draw like the corner of a street or draw a house
Yeah.
in perspective, you use 2. If you want to draw a skyscraper, you use 3.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. I also did architectural drawing and mechanical drawing. And we had to do mechanical drawings in 3 dimensions, and we used the same method of point perspective.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people that are trying to argue this black swan thing and all can't understand that. It's been in art for centuries.
Yeah. But that's what they need to do, mate. They need to package each wee component and part and present it as if they own it and they realise that so that they can milk it for some funds, you know?
It boggles my mind. It really does.
No.
And I don't know if you saw that video I did a minute ago. I know that guy mentioned a surveyor in China.
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of people mentioning surveyors that are proving it's a globe. One guy sent me a message over a YouTube channel the other day saying that he did oceanic surveys from land onto a boat using infrared,
Mhm.
and that their numbers prove the globe. But what they never fail to realize is that most of the survey equipment today is computerized.
Yeah.
The numbers are being given to them,
Yeah.
but they just don't get it.
No.
I worked with surveyors in the past. I was in construction. You and I have talked about that before.
Yeah.
I just recently did a video on how to use a transom to set a concrete form, or how they build a pool
Mhm.
with a measuring stick and a singular scope that's set with bubbles and liquid.
Yeah.
It's pretty freaking simple,
That's it. I mean,
and it's totally obvious.
it's planar geometry. It's what we've been using for all this time. It's planar geometry, you know, and people going about the earth and its measurements and yada yada. What was already established. We use planar geometry, and you know you've got this is what we've got here. You've got people like this Leonard Regebro. I've already addressed this guy from earlier who, you know, doesn't want to come on through fear. But he's saying, no, because geometry of vision isn't a real thing. Of course it's a real thing. You know, as we've just highlighted, as Lone Zen Warrior just highlighted there in regards to, you know, engineer drawing, perspective drawing and art. You know, the way we see the world is not how the world actually is. You know, a simple analogy, look along a train track. They're not converging. The lines are not getting closer together. So what's that a property of? Let's see if we can get an answer out of one of these here, mate, right? So if it's not a property of vision, what is it a property of, Leonard Regebro? Because you're a globe earther. So you tell us then why things appear to get smaller, why things converge. Tell us. We're not going to get an answer, but I'm humouring him.
Another thing that we always did in construction that I understand and most people don't, you don't need trigonometry for even maritime navigation.
Well,
it's simple. A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
aye, but trigonometry is a planar instrument as well. It's a tool of planar geometry. So utilising triangles don't have curved bases. I mean, it's just totally absurd.
Yeah, everybody wants to make it complicated. I commented about one of your hangout there. I think it was your last hangout. The guy was on.
Well,
Was a guy on here or another one? Anyway, that, you know, they were trying to use all this scientific mumbo jumbo to describe refraction and visual effects and everything else. And it's not that difficult. It is so simple. A child can understand it.
Yeah.
It really is. You don't need all this trigonometry and fancy math. Simple geometry.
Exactly, mate.
And man, all the surveyors I've known, and I talked to a buddy of mine out in California who worked for the surveyor for 10 years. And I asked him, how do you calculate for the curve? And he said, well, there was a formula that they had in their book that they sometimes used, but they kind of got away from it in the 70s. The old guy that he trained under said he didn't use it at all. They always figure they're on a flat plane and they only allow for elevation changes, period.
Mm-hmm.
They never calculated for a curve.
No, it's a dating line. It's a level line that everything's established from. You know, the level. Everything's established from the level. That's the real world. But it's only these people on YouTubes, as I say, you don't get any of that in the real world interactions. You know, it's just sophistry from these people who are out to protect invested interest, you know.
I think the saddest part of it is they're showing just how deep the programming is and how prolific cognitive dissonance is. They just don't want to let go of that sci-fi fantasy they've been living with, and they'll never get to be a Jedi Knight in Star Wars.
Exactly. That's it, mate.
I kind of laughed about the Baudet thing, but it is the reality of this world that people have got to wake up to this lie. It's the only way we're breaking out of this matrix and this control mechanism.
Yeah.
We got to get enough people to stand up together and say, we don't consent to your authority anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck off, you know?
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. People need to do that in real life. It's not going to happen on YouTube by selecting a preferred celebrity and thinking that they represent you and that they're going to achieve something. People have to speak to each other in the real world.
It's that kid you were talking to at the university the other day. I was watching that, and you can just see it in his face and the way he's trying to talk to you that he's searching his mind for any little thing he can try to rebuke you on, and he just can't come up with nothing.
I know. And that's what I was talking
But he also can't let go of that globe either. He just can't let go of it.
Well, that's what I was talking about at the start of this. You know, that was one of the amazing things to me. You're going to these places of academics and you're asking simple questions, and they're willing to defend a belief, but at the same time they don't understand the belief that they're trying to defend, which, you know, is totally bizarre. You know, and a real, you know, warning sign. Because as I say, these people are part of a cult teaching, and they don't even realise that they're part of that. They think that it's real, they think it's reality. So they're going to stand there and try and defend it, although they know they can't defend it, you know?
Well, it's like all the memes that people put up that all the globe people that are still globe believers say that us flat earthers don't know what we're talking about when it comes to that globe. When in fact, I know you and I for sure, we know more about that globe model than they do.
Exactly.
Because when we saw flat earth, we went back and re-looked at all the stuff that we thought we knew about it, and then we started going, wait a minute, none of this crap makes any sense.
Exactly.
It does not apply in reality.
No. That's that. But people don't do that. They just see the surface level of it and they jump on it and they don't think too much about it. They just look to other people to sort it out, you know? And all they care about is being on the winning team, whatever that is, you know? But as I say, you see these people, they still come here, they still going on. I've asked this guy here, can you demonstrate a force known as pull? And I've also asked you to highlight and tell us why, you know, the geometry of vision is not relevant. You know, why do train tracks appear to converge? If that's not a property of vision, what's it a property of? So you don't get clarity. These people cannot answer simple questions. They just evade and avoid continually. You know?
You know, they just want to argue and circle jerk around and around to defend it.
Yeah. That's it.
And it's sad. It really is.
Yeah. You get people like us here that are willing to be open and sit here and listen to them, and they can articulate their points, their reason. And we don't get anything. We just get absolutely nothing.
Hey, have you know Adam, Flat Earth Observer, right?
Yeah.
The crane operator.
Yeah.
He did that great video on his channel about float glass, in the glass industry, and how they finally figured out how to make perfectly flat, clear glass.
Yeah.
They float it on liquid.
That was Robert brought that to the attentions, and I don't know if Level Earth Observers put it up as well, but I know Robert, Eye Level Awakening, he put up a lengthy, detailed video about that as well. That was a while ago,
Yeah,
actually.
I've tried to talk to another guy who's on YouTube. He's pushing a lot on the Bigfoot realm, trying to help people out with that. You go up in the mountains and you see these mountain lakes, and they're flat as glass, and they give you a perfect mirror image of the mountain behind them.
Yeah.
How many award-winning photographs are there of that image with water in front of the mountaintop, and it's perfect mirrors?
Yeah.
Hello?
Exactly.
How much more obvious do you have to make it?
Exactly. But people see an image on the TV, and that's what confuses them.
But it's going to take time. I've said that in some of my recent videos. Everybody wants that magic bullet to change their mind overnight, and it doesn't happen that way. Not even with me. I saw it the first time, and then it took about 6 months, and I looked at it again, and then it finally clicked. And water was what sold it to me.
Yeah.
Water was what broke through the cognitive dissonance.
Exactly.
As soon as I saw a video about water, and then thinking about how many things I've leveled with a bubble and liquid in construction, then it made perfect sense. Up is up, down is down. There ain't no curve.
What's up, mate?
It's ridiculous to think that Harry down there in Australia is upside down while you're at one angle and I'm at another over here in Texas.
That's mathematics for you. Concepts that'll, put you on absurdities.
Yeah, if we know what our elevation is, we all know how high we are above sea level.
What's up?
Period.
Exactly, mate.
And one guy always tries to argue with me, what about tides? What about tides? I don't know. You try to tell me what the hell tides are.
They think that
All you gotta do is look at a map of where the tides are and where they are the greatest. Doesn't make any sense.
They just think if they ask you gotcha questions that you can't answer, it somehow lends credence to their absurdity. As I keep saying to them, what the fuck? Tides don't define the shape of the earth either. Same as the stars, the sun, the moon, they don't define the earth's dimensions. They're just red herrings. It's just, diversion tactics.
If you want to know what the hell you're standing on, why in the hell are you looking up?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And just because what you see up there doesn't mean what you're standing on is the same as what's up there. I always use the analogy of if you're on a billiard table,
yeah,
and you're the size of a billiard ball, and you're looking around, and you go, okay, well, all the balls are round, so the table I'm standing on must be round.
Yeah.
But we know it's not. It's flat and it's rectangular.
Exactly.
What kind of idiocy is that to say, well, if the ball's are round, then the table's got to be round and curved too? Boy, that would make for a fun game, wouldn't it?
Exactly, man. I mean, Leonard, we're here and we're dignified and we're respectful. We've asked you quite clearly. You were asked to provide a practical reference for a pulling force. You were also asked to clarify if the train tracks are not a property of vision when we see them converge, what are they a property of? You can't answer the questions. So, there's no point in acting the victim. Because you can't answer the simple questions that have been put to you. So, articulate what to is your responses and I'll read them out if you're too scared to come on.
Yeah. Well, it's refraction, it's lensing effect, anybody can understand lensing effect if they've seen a straw in a glass of water.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of these guys that have tried to do the computer maps of where the sun is, their lines don't always match. People have taken readings from different places on the earth of where the sun is in the sky, and then they try to map that out in CAD program or in a 3D program, and the lines don't converge. Well, what's the humidity of where the observers are? What's the air temperature where they are?
Well, they don't factor in any of the aspects. They just make assertions and scut over everything. You know, it's just total nonsense. But we know all that.
Yeah, that was part of the reason that I bugged out of here for quite a while, because when Oakley and those guys were doing the Watch the Sun hangouts. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to go on there and trying to help people out with how to use a compass, how to use a sextant, or even make your own sextant to use to measure the degree of angle. But then they weren't accounting for atmospheric conditions.
No, they're just making assumptions that they know where these things are. That's always the problem. When it's an intangible phenomena of just pure visible phenomena, they have to make a guess. They have to make a base assumption of where they think it is. Because, you know, you have to know that if you're trying to, accurately pinpoint its position. And if you don't know exactly where it is, then it's useless.
Sure.
Plus, you don't know where it is and you don't know what it is. So what is it you're trying to track? I mean, it's preposterous.
Yeah. Well, and if you don't have the Maritime Almanac on, if you're navigating on the water, even when you do just use the basic math of it, it's not going to pinpoint exactly where you are. It's just going to give you a relative position of where you are, so you don't run into something. It's not going to be it's not pinpoint accuracy.
No.
Because of atmospheric conditions. Yep. And you're on the water, so humidity's a factor. If the temperature's hotter, colder.
Yeah. It's Mark Wilson, again, I'm going to say this to you. What I'm saying to you is that would not happen until over a much larger distance than they're trying to portray to you with their little diagrams. The scale is way off. That would only happen after hundreds of miles. So I think I made it pretty clear. Sorry, I'm just talking to this guy in the chat here. He's asking questions.
No, that's all right. I know you got to deal with him, idiots. Mm-hmm. So I was glad to get on the hangout with you so I could shut YouTube down and not have to watch it.
No worries, mate. I appreciate you coming on. As I say, it'll be good to catch up in private. We can get a chat then.
Yeah. It makes me wonder when I see all these people that are coming onto your channel, even people that comment to others. You know, what do these people do? Is that what they do for a living all day long, is sit around and make troll comments to flat earthers?
Yep, exactly that.
Circle jerk arguments and...
Yep.
And it bugs the hell out of me to see fellow flat earthers arguing back and fighting over it and then asking me, well, how do you ignore them? It's simple. You just ignore them.
That's it. I just pick and choose. I make examples when it suits me, you know. But as I say to people continually, there's no point in engaging with them thinking that you're going to get any resolve, because it's not going to happen. The only thing you can do is use them as examples when they make absurd claims, you know.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem too is with this whole internet thing. You got a lot of so-called men out there who ain't got a set of nuts on them, and they're hiding behind them keyboards thinking they're tough, and they say a lot of stuff in comments they would never say to you or I face to face.
Of course.
Not in a million years.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, thanks for letting me come on, man. You let me shout at me on email or holler at me. Let me know when you got some free time. We'll talk one-on-one.
Defos, mate. Defo.
I'd love to catch up with you.
Cool, mate. Cheers for coming on.
You bet. I just wanted to throw that in there to anybody. Give them some ammo out there. There's point perspective in art and in architectural and mechanical drawing. All you gotta do is look it up.
Yeah.
And if you look up a transom and how they set form boards for concrete and pools, it's pretty simple. And it doesn't matter the size of the pool.
That's it.
It's all done with a level transom, and they're all set with bubbles and liquid, and all of that equipment that they use out there, survey or otherwise, when they set up those scopes, whether they're computerized or not, they set them with a bubble and liquid on the base.
That's it.
It's the only thing to level them with.
Exactly.
There's no other way to do it.
That's it, mate.
And if they're leveled any other way, they're electrical and they have a gyroscope inside of them. And that's how they're leveled.
Yeah.
If they don't have a bubble and liquid, then it's a gyroscope inside of the scope, just like with a cell phone.
Yeah.
Another one I'll point out real quick before I get off here with you. In the yacht industry, they have what they call stabilizer pins. One guy came on and he talked about it in the Navy for their aiming systems. They've got this big gyroscope on the ship. They fire that thing up while they're sitting at the dock while the boat's nice and still and level. Once that gyroscope spins up, they can get out there, and no matter how rough the seas are, they can still aim in a straight line with the gyroscope.
Exactly.
In the yacht industry, they use 2 of them for stabilizer pins to keep the boat from rocking back and forth, keep it smoother.
Yeah.
It's all gyroscopes. And gyroscopes don't give a shit about fantasy gravity.
Exactly, mate.
So that's what I got for you today. Holler at me when you got some free time, brother. It was good talking with you.
Cheers, buddy. I'll catch you soon.
I'll be watching on YouTube. Thanks, brother.
Cheers, my man. Gee, what's I don't give a fuck about supporters and subs and if you're going to unsub me and all that, whatever. I couldn't give a fuck about any of that. What you need to learn is how to approach and how to speak. Right? If you can't handle who I am and how I am with certain behaviours and whatever else, then just don't appear on. It's dead simple. You want to show up at my door like that. You want to show up at my home behaving the way you behaved. So, act the victim all you like. I could not give a shit. There's plenty more fucks in the box. Right, what's happening? If anybody else wants to join me, you need to send me an email. Leonard Regebro, has Leonard answered the questions yet? Leonard, you're being addressed. You put comments in my comment section earlier, rattling on about pooling forces. You have been asked to reference a force known as pool with demonstration. You have nothing yet so far. You've also been asked because you made the statement that the geometry of vision is not relevant when we're talking about visible phenomena. So if the train tracks are not converging because of your eye, what's the cause of that? Is it happening in the real world? If not, where is it happening? The fifth dimension? Some imaginary place? I would love to hear your reasoning. Thank you. Yes, Mark Wilson, only when you're looking down. Only when you're looking down, and that arc would not protrude until a vast distance. I made it very clear, Mark. Now stop asking the same fucking questions. Rewind and have a listen. I showed it with a wee diagram and everything, just to make it clearer. That's not demonstrating a pulling force, that's you asserting a pulling force of magnetism. You do not have the slightest clue what is going on with magnets. And to suggest there's a pulling force is to suggest magic, absurdity. That there's nothing going on between two objects and another one somehow comes towards the other one. How? What would the mechanisms of that be? Chop chop. we've got a break. Nobody's asking. I'm going to get this video that Mr. Cheswick sent to me. Let me have a wee look at this. 1 minute 20. Who is this guy?
So, welcome back to part 2 in a series of 4 short videos in which we examine the various directions from which these imbecilic whack jobs approach their fervent belief in a flat earth. They believe that all these sort of skilled people and many other professions
Don't have belief, son. I know you're just going to appeal to fallacious rubbish. You're just you're the crackpot. People like this are the crackpots who's wee TARDIS and his Doctor Who Star Trekkiness. Total fucking lunatic, bewildered and confused by sophistry and wee cartoon images on his TV. So, not a very bright chap, this Sheen.
are engaged in a global cover-up that involves...
No, not everybody's in it here. This is the fallacy yet again. Appealing to consensus, appealing to authority, and then using the fallacy of everybody's in on it. No, they're just as daft as you. Right? They've never actually addressed it. They don't have the capacity to understand the sophistry. Right? Come and speak to me, whoever your name is, and I'll sort you out.
making us all believe that the Earth is spherical and orbits the Sun, when, as far as they can...
That's exactly what they've done. They've convinced people that they live on an absurdity, a concept known as an oblate spheroid Earth. That's what they've done. That's the facts. It has been done. You just don't want to face up to it.
The truth of the matter is that the Earth lies at the centre of the solar system and is the only one out of over 4,000 observed planets that happens to be a large flat disk.
Observed planets, that means somebody looks up at the sky to a wee twinkling light and they think they know it. And he's talking about lunatics and crackpots.
Is it? Yes, it's no tick.
Now, I've got some serious problems with this, not least because the Earth is observably and demonstrably a sphere.
No, it's not. No, it's not. More lies.
I'm a scientist.
I believe that much of this behaviour is actually a subconscious reaction to their own realisation that they are basically a bit thick and hold those who...
I'll challenge you or any physicist or anybody that professes to be scientific in any way, shape or form to meet me for a one-on-one discussion, or you can bring 10 of your pals, whatever you like, and we'll lay everything out on the table and we'll see who has what. So, all these gimps on YouTube's Daves and Professor this, that and the other, where are they in the real world? Where are they?
who do understand these concepts in a state of contempt.
Yes, they understand the, see the use of language, they understand the concept. I don't think he knows what concept means. Right? A concept does not represent reality, son.
Due to jealousy.
Now, well, I'm jealous. I wish I was like you with my wee TARDIS. Huh? Probably got a spunky soak lying next to you. Huh? I'm dead jealous.
These people, they have no legitimacy whatsoever. They are in fact a gross embarrassment to the rest of humanity, since they are judging the entirety.
There's the subtle hatred, trying to incite hatred towards anybody that questions his wee fucked up, retarded, absurd bubble. That's what he's trying to spew. Subtle hatred, trying to whip people up into a frenzy, to chastise and isolate people and gaslight them. Oh, very compassionate. This is a man to be trusted. Yes, get him to look after your children. Trust him with your family pet. Oh yes, he won't cook it in the microwave. No.
Of human scientific endeavour and knowledge against their own minimal ability to comprehend it. And
I'll show you minimal ability to comprehend stuff, son. You come and see me and I'll show you my capabilities. Right? Anybody like you? Again, you have yous all know where I live. I'm out there all the time, going to universities. Not one of you dipshits will ever show face Do you know why? Because you're fucking terrified. Terrified of your own delusions being taken away from you and being made to look like the clown you actually are. So you'll sit on YouTubes thinking you've got safety, your wee safe bubble of delusion. It's all going to come crashing down round about you, son. And the same as everybody else that's like you. Because it's bollocks.
Massively overinflated sense of their own cognitive abilities prevents them from realising.
Come and correct it then. You come and correct it for me.
That they in fact know absolutely nothing.
Fuck you! Yeah, that's my message to you. Fuck you
Yeah,
and kiss my ass.
You're an emotional fucking cripple. Your soul is dog shit.
Physically, intellectually retarded, vulgar, insensitive, selfish, stupid. You have no taste, a lousy sense.
Absolute gimp. Total and utter gimp. But this is it. This is these people. This is the cult mentality. Can't have honest discussion, discourse. They don't have anything practical, no reference, nothing to support their absurd notions about the world we live in. And because of that, they want to try and gaslight the individual, and they want to whip everybody else up into a frenzy to isolate the individuals and bully and intimidate them. That's no cult mentality, no. No, that's no cult mentality. That's rational, scientifical, logical, reasoned thinking, apparently. That's how deluded people like him are. What does he? Runs about with chasing ghosts. As it Billy Connolly says, they've got everything. Heat-seeking, sensor pads, fucking laser beams, fucking wee dust bowls, everything but a fucking ghost. Cheers beyond belief. I'm not going to show that just now. I'll do that in a different one. Cheers, David Thompson. Right, what's happening? Shut up, Leonard. You've got nothing, son. You waffle your gums in comment sections and you have nothing. Have you articulated and shown a pulling force? Have you articulated and demonstrated what causes things to converge and things to get smaller? That's not a property of vision. No. So you're now going to be ignored, Leonard. And if you put comments in my comment section, I'm just going to mute you so that nobody sees your idiotic drivel. What was that? Well spotted, Andy Taylor. What did I miss? Look at the Bering Straits where the Namib Islands that have sunrises 4 hours apart and yet are 3 miles apart from each other. Interesting, Andy. Let me check that out. It's not a pulling force, Leonard. It's not a pulling force. Something goes closer to the magnet. It's a descriptor of the motion of direction. It's not a descriptor or any sort of demonstration of the mechanics of how the motion was achieved. What created the motion? How does this thing make this thing go towards it without some sort of attachment or some sort of pressure in the backside of it? Stop being a lunatic, son. Now I'm just going to ignore you because you're a clown. You just don't understand. As that man in the video says, people like you just don't get the... You think you've got the capacity, and then when I'm highlighting it for you, you still can't get it. You're daft. It's called perspective. What is perspective a property of, Leonard? What is perspective a property of? Is it a property of vision, or is it a property of the world? Leonard, stop diverting. You've just said that it's it's perspective. Now, is perspective a property of vision, i.e. your eyes, or is it a property of the world? Now you don't want to concede. Perspective is an effect of geometry. Geometry of what, Leonard? She's just dancing. Just dancing. I'm going to use you, Leonard, to highlight this bollocks. Perspective is an effect of geometry. Geometry of what? Clarify. The earth or vision? He knows he's stuck. You know he's put yourself right in a cul-de-sac here. It's not a property of anything. Wonderful, Leonard. Thank you very much. Perspective is geometry, but it's not a property of anything. So it's the geometry of no thing. Leonard says that convergence of things and things getting smaller is a property of geometry, and that geometry is nothing. Well done, Leonard. There is only geometry. Earth and vision does not have different geometries. Leonard, you are a clown. I'm beginning to think you're a bit retarded, and I don't want to take the piss out of you. This is brilliant. You're an embarrassment to your religion, Leonard. The rest of the cult disciples will be face palming as we speak because you're making an absolute cunt of yourself. First insult loses. Do you know what, Leonard? You're gone, son. Now what have we got next? Let's see here. Now we've got any other requests, so I'm going to wind down now. I'm going to get Offski. Unless anybody's got anything else they want to say. Nah, nobody got anything to say. Right, everybody, I'll see you very soon. Take it easy.